Yeah, maybe the speaker's too close or audio is too loud.
Oh yeah, maybe a little
That's
bit.
working.
Sorry, I'm a
Oh,
rookie. Is it a little better now or?
let's see. Yep. Yeah, it's better.
Okay. All right. Sorry about
Yep. As long
that.
as you can hear me just fine, that's all right.
So I guess we'll jump right into this. I don't want to take
Yeah,
up too much of your time.
sure.
You could just say your name, the company you work for, and the title of your position.
Yep. So my name is Jared Moroz. I work as an executive director at Morgan Stanley in New York. My role is I lead the AI working group for Enterprise Network Services Division.
Awesome. And about how many people do you manage on a daily and weekly basis?
Currently, I directly manage 6 people daily, and it's the same team. So daily and weekly, it's the same. Yeah.
Nice. And those 6 people that you manage, what is the type of work that they are typically doing?
Yeah. So it is Vex is a development team. So it is folks that are doing AI development, machine learning, particularly in Python. And they are based, the majority of them are based in Bangalore, India. So they are direct reports, but they are remote. Yeah,
Gotcha.
quite remote.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
And so, how often do you meet with these employees to talk about their overall performance, individually and then as kind of a group?
So for performance discussions not related to their tasks and work, so in terms of their individual performance, I meet once a week. Every one of my staff has a one-to-one meeting with me for 30 minutes, typically on Fridays,
Gotcha.
which is kind of late for them, but
Yeah,
yeah, so performance discussions happen every week.
gotcha. And are these like formal meetings or are they kind of, looser, informal meetings?
They're formally scheduled and there's no set agenda and there's no kind of outcomes from it, meaning unless there's something that has to be formally documented in the conversation. So they're pretty informal in that regards, but they are formally scheduled and they're expected to attend. Yeah.
Gotcha. And for your employees and their performances, how do you document them again if it is more of like an individually based or kind of as a whole, as a group?
Yeah. So if we just talk like individually, right? So individual performance of one of my staff that work for me, they're recorded primarily in notes and emails and things that I have, or I take notes about what they've done during the year. Um, we have, in terms of formal review process, so if we talk about that, that's done at 3 times in the year. Where in the beginning of the year we set goals for every employee. At mid-year we have a mid-year review discussion to see how they're tracking towards those goals. And as a matter of fact, we're into review season right now. We're in mid-November, where we are writing and then delivering year-end reviews for our staff. So I keep personal records formally for all of the everybody on my team, which I reference when I'm doing reviews or having any of the formal conversations. Yeah, and that's all positives and negatives. So their accomplishments as well as things they may need to improve or issues that may arise during the year.
Gotcha. And then kind of along similar lines, you mentioned the goals.
Mhm.
If it has happened and when it happens, like an employee who underperforms a little bit, how do you kind of approach that and handle that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So in general, and just for context, I've been managing teams for 25 years. So I've had very large teams, very small teams, globally diverse teams, local teams. So, but it's always the same regardless of the size and the location. So depending on in what aspect of their performance is an issue, right? So if it's a performance issue at how they do their job or how they're performing their work, usually begins with a frank conversation where we just kind of discuss, are there any issues, difficulties, not understanding what's supposed to be happening. And then we just kind of monitor that. If it becomes more of a chronic issue, then we have a formal write-up that we do. And so where we have to document specifically, this is what the expectations were, these were the tasks, this is what you were observed doing, this is where improvement is needed, and here's like an action plan to make those improvements, right? And then ultimately, and then, again, if we're into the action plan phase, we've gone pretty far. Like most I've only had to go that far with only two of my staff in the past 25 years have gone to an action plan where
Yeah.
fully documented with, unless you do these things, you're going to lose your job, that sort of
Right.
thing. Right. So
Yeah.
that's only happened twice.
Yeah. And so I guess kind of more focused on you rather than your employees. Do you
Hmm.
spend most of your
Sure.
time doing like planning, or is it leading or organizing? And then that leading, is it like, if it is leading, is it kind of like by example, or is it a little different than that?
That's another great question. So, because there is a very distinct difference between managing and leading. And so in my role and what I've had for many years now is more like I am a people manager, but I'm in a leadership position. So,
Mhm.
um, the vast majority of my time is spent building strategy and kind of setting direction and vision for the team, as well as the technologies and the things we're going to be building. So I'm in a technology organization. So my team is either operating or building network infrastructures or artificial intelligence and machine learning solutions around the monitoring of those network infrastructures. Um, so as you can imagine, there's a lot of stuff that happens every day. Like networks go down. Like if you have an issue with Wi-Fi, if you have an issue
Yeah.
with your internet, if you have an issue with whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for Morgan Stanley, my team is the one that is monitoring or managing the primarily the trading plant network is what we look
Mhm.
at, right? So any little thing that happens, we have to jump on, right? So I spent a lot of time figuring out ways of improving, optimizing, or making the operation more efficient, making our technology more efficient, and then enabling our staff to do their job better. It's really where I spend most of my time.
Yeah. Awesome. And then my last question, kind of a lighter question, is just
Sure.
what's the most rewarding part of your job?
Oh, that's easy. Um, so the most rewarding part of my job truly is, and this is, I'm not just saying this, a lot of people just say these things. When I see success in the people that work for me, that I'm able to build up and to get them into, say, get them promoted or have them experience a level of success in their position, that's really where I get the most joy. It's kind of strange. Like I'm very technical. I can build things. I've all these apps and services and products, whatever, but wonderful. I was happiest. There was a guy that worked for me for 10 years that I was able to give him a platform and build him up and get him to be promoted within. And getting promoted at financials is like it's kind of a pain, but there's different
Right.
levels,
Yeah.
and it's separate from your role. So it's kind of a big deal to make that jump. So for me to be able to help him get there and to lift him up, and once he achieved it, that's what I get my most joy when I see people do well that work for me. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of my management philosophies is that my success is measured by the success of my team.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
really what it boils
That's
down
good
to.
too.
And that's not like just, BS. That's truly how I do
Yeah.
my job. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for doing this again.
You're welcome.
I'm actually heading over to Ryan's in a little bit.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think
Excellent.
he
Cool.
said he was cooking a little something. So
Yeah, he's been doing that a lot, which is great. So
yeah, we're like
it's
polar
cool.
opposites. I hate cooking and he likes to cook. So
Yeah, it's been a thing. But listen, no, truly, it's my pleasure helping out. Like this to me is easy. I'm very happy to help. If you need follow-up questions or anything, just shoot me an email. That's
all
my
right.
Delphi email because I'm
Okay.
also an adjunct professor. So just use that email if you need to communicate. And if you have any
Okay.
questions or follow-ups, I'm happy
All
to
right.
answer.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Have a
You're
good
very
rest of
welcome.
your
Have a
night.
great night, Charles. All right, bye now.
See ya.